guys, welcome back to another lesson. Today we're going to do something different. You saw the title. We're going to talk about tone. So I'm not necessarily going to show you how to get a specific tone. I'm just going to talk about my approach to tone in general. Up to this point, I never really actually explored it for myself personally. I just know what I like. And so we'll actually go on that journey together. So for the purpose of this video, we'll just talk about, a good, clean tone just using our hands, and the pickups, of course. But, the guitar plays a part into it. Your actual touch plays a part in it. And, that's why, a lot of guys can, play the exact same guitar, but it sounds completely different. Because ultimately, it's the sound we hear in our hands, and it's how we interpret that, from our head to our hands. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. And, yeah, so let's dig in. But first and foremost, the strings I use are pretty much the Fender Bullet size 9s, so 9 up to 42. They're kind of like my go-tos. This is a used pack that I just took off. As far as picks, my go-to pick, I change up from time to time. It's like the Jazz 3, the Jen Dumlett version. This little small guy. But we'll start without the pick. So here we go. I will just play an A chord. And so right now I'm on that neck pickup. A little bit about me. I grew up playing blues and gospel, traditional gospel guitar. And the way I approach it, it's not so much the notes I play, but it's how I feel when I play the notes. So I'm not so much concerned that I'm getting like a bunch of licks in, but I'm more so concerned about how it make you feel. And that plays into how I approach my tone. So my goal is to use my thumb and be smooth with that. And so that sounds different. That sounds full and robust. But as I begin to switch pickups, it kind of gets a little bit brighter. There's more attack. And it changes based off me being over certain pickups. So in that first pickup, of course I'm going to be over that first pickup. So now I'm on the neck and the middle. So it changes a little bit. So that first pickup, the neck, that's usually like my robust sound. If I'm not playing with a full band, it's just me, a bass guitar and a drummer, and I have more leeway and I need to cover more of the spectrum, the frequency spectrum that is. I'll actually use this pickup and I can be a little bit fuller. A lot of body and character there. But my go-to is really in between these two, so where I get both of these pickups. And so if I need that to be brighter, I'll grab a pick. And so that gives me more room to, reduce some of that low end information if I need to, if the bass is heavy or if there's a keyboard player and I'm chorded at the moment. So I don't have so much low end information and I can still kind of come out a little bit more with those little attacks. The truth of the matter is I hardly ever just go for that middle pickup. But, there's tons of, attack there. And as I get overdrive and distortion, I kind of lean heavily on that bridge. So a lot of treble down there. All the way. So when I'm just overdriving, kind of like a small drive from a tube screamer, that real traditional blues tone, I'll go for that bridge and middle. If I have a real heavy distortion, when I'm doing a lot of lead melodies, I'll go all the way to the bridge. But let's go back to that second position, and let's talk a little bit about actually feeling what we're playing, because your tone is pretty much in your touch. So a lot of guys I know that they'll play a lot of quick and fast things, but their touch is kind of flimsy, if that makes sense. So let's do the pentatonic scale. You feel how loose my fingers are? There's no real intention about what I'm playing. But if I go, it's subtle, but it makes a difference. And that touch, that feel makes all the difference. So as like if I play just this simple little lick. Versus those little inflections, those that little tremolo or vibrato, all that plays into your tone. It's kind of like when B.B. King would just hit that one note. You felt every note he played, even if it was just one note. And so the biggest challenge is being intentional about what you're playing and playing with authority. And that's really going to enhance your tone. So I'm going to keep using my pick. So all that, it sounds different. The attack of the pick versus using the finger. So, if you break down it's a ballad or something and you get a little smooth solo, you might want to use your thumb as opposed to using the pick. Small solo details, beginning with just a clean tone, makes a huge difference before we add the amp and before we add any pedals. Another example, if I'm doing a lot of fast picking, maybe doing a shout or something like that, I'm going to go to my bridge and then make sure I use a pick because I can pick quickly with this. I'm sorry. And so oftentimes I won't even pick the same note, pick all the notes. That sounds different from versus. All that is different. But anywho, so that's kind of like my go-to sound if I need to actually stand on top. I'm doing a lot of fast lead and picking things. I'm going to go to that bridge. I'm going to use a pick. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. Maybe it was me doing a lot of rambling. Maybe not. But if you guys are interested, let me know. I'll pull out my pedal board. Well, even that's weird because a lot of times every 2 or 3 years or so, I'll kind of get rid of everything and start over. And I'm kind of in that transition when I'm piecing out my old gear and I just got a Helix, the LT. But I'll show you how I actually order my pedals and build my sound that way. Just let me know if you're interested. Leave any comments, suggestions, tips, whatever you think might be helpful to you. I'll be happy to answer questions, or if you got some tips that you want to share with the general public, hit it up in the comments. All right, so thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.